Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for July 6, 2020, with your host, SpaceBurger2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
We have at least one of these episodes is fairly poignant. A bit too poignant, to be honest.
I do almost feel like this is kind of the little pickup that I needed for the show.
Probably, because I think the movies have never been subbed.
Oof.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. A lot of the show era stuff hasn't really been touched at all because nobody's interested in it. And
I mean,
none of the...
to be fair, up until this week, I kind of can't blame people.
Yeah.
Like, this show almost feels like it's got too slow of a early burn.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not helped for the show restarting from scratch 10 episodes in.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we ignored the initial Pongo part, then maybe this would be on point with what we should have saw.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of that we got a problem.
I'll be honest, since I've gotten the taste of show now, I want to see the rest once we're done. I want to move on to V3 and eventually hit like the original 7.
Unfortunately, the rest of that trip won't be from completely legal subs.
Well, V3 would be legal subs because I'm sure someone's ripped the DVDs and put them on the internet. Because ain't nobody paying 100.
Then that falls into that whole piracy part of it.
Yeah, because fucking hell, it's what was it? It's like $100 some odd for the V3.
Oof.
It's a stupid amount. Oh, $130 discounted from $150 for all 52 episodes.
Huh.
That is more than... How is that? That is $3 an episode. Almost. And because of that, we will probably never get official subs from Shout Factory.
Or from anyone, for that matter.
Yeah. I would hope they're good quality subs, even, at that point.
For it to be that much, it better be.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, since my favorite movie is Mega Max, and the original 7 appear in it, I would kind of like to see the origins of that team. But any thoughts going into these?
Not really. I was kind of just more Nego kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I must say, after I got finished with the episodes, that thought kind of changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna kick things off with episode 25, Defeat King Kamen. Or Mushroom Man. I will butcher every single goon name because they are all nonsense cobbling together of letters.
That I would have to think probably don't even mean anything for them.
Probably. I don't know. So we're back at Shocker Base where Hayato is going to be beheaded with a buzzsaw. until Mushroom Man interrupts and says, "No, I want him conscious when we behead him. So wake his ass up so we can behead him then." So they do by injecting him with some green goop. And Hayato wakes up, starts to struggle. And we see that, oh, Taki is one of the Shocker Goons, and he frees Hayato. And then they beat up the Shocker Goons, and escape with the wake-up drug. Apparently there was an invisible barrier around the base
that I thought was just like a optical illusion, but apparently it's a physical thing.
Apparently. That Hayato has to jump Taki through. That also hurts him?
And almost knocks him out?
Apparently.
Yeah.
So they make...
Yeah. Just so much with that that's like, okay, fine.
Yeah. So they make it out, and they take the drug to a local hospital to try it out on the kids, and it works, but they don't have enough. So the doctor has to make more of it, so he's off to replicate it. Meanwhile, we check in with the girls, who are hanging out with the tennis kids from last week, until two of them collapse, and then they take them to the hospital, only to find out, oh no, they're infected with a virus that is spreading and turning everyone, or freezing everyone, like Mushroom Man does. So when it starts to spread to everyone and gets out of the hospital and starts to spread everywhere, and then the town has to be locked down. This feels too real.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Too real.
That's exactly what I was thinking as we were going. It's like, wow. They might have accidentally, thought this one out before it happened. Like a long time before it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... damn. So at this point, Hayato heads to the dock to try to hopefully have a mass-produced cure. And they do! So this is all swept under the rug in 2 minutes.
Yep.
So at this point, with all their plans foiled, Mushroom Man is now sent to kill Hayato because fuck him is more or less the Shocker modus, or the Shocker manual of, you interrupted our plans, fuck you and die.
I mean, yeah. And sometimes that doesn't even have to coincide with him messing up their plans.
Yep. So he's off to go kill them. Meanwhile, we check in with the girls who are having a party for getting better and surviving an epidemic with Goro and Tachibana, when Hayato sends them flowers to tell them, by the way, don't do anything heroic, go do boring stuff. Fucking asshole. Absolute asshole.
They never said it in the show, but I have to wonder if he actually did that. Or if it was the lure to get them out so Mushroom Man can get them.
To be fair, that happens in the last episode. But I don't know, because Taki also calls them tomboys and also complains about them going to do something heroic. But at least this one feels like a bad idea, because it's like, oh yes, let's go to the Shocker base without backup and without the one person who can help us punch our way out of a problem.
Yeah.
That isn't Taki.
I mean, I could be wrong. I could be trying to read it like what we would see now would be.
Yeah.
But that was one of those, as I was seeing that, I was like, that almost doesn't seem like something he would do. This almost seems like Shocker trying to pull everyone apart.
Yeah. Well, he does have that moment in the next episode where he tells one of the girls to, like, go stop traffic. And it kind of has that same tone.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it could be a case of, maybe they finally told him about what had actually happened, and he kind of was more using that in a joking manner too, kind of deal.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I don't know. It seems like because of when this was, it could be either way.
Yeah, it's 1971. Casual sexism exists.
Yeah. Is it right? No. Did it happen? Yes.
Yeah, more or less. Anywho, away from that, back into the episode. Taki gets called by Tachibana about this, so he heads out to go intercept the girls to make sure that they don't get in trouble. And to help them punch their way out of a problem, which... Tachibana, why didn't you call Hayato on this? He's the proper one to call about this since they are going after a shocker base. When was the last time Taki punched his way out of a shocker base?
Hold on, I'm thinking.
The answer is never, because Hayato was the one that solved those problems. Only one of us here has the abilities to actually deal with these problems. Maybe call him first. Oh, well.
That's usually the smart thing.
Yeah. Well, after he calls them, Mushroom Man appears by sprouting a giant mushroom in the club and then popping out of it. Because it's
Reasons.
1970, more or less. And they capture Tachibana. We catch up with the girls who are trying to infiltrate the base. Oh, they get cornered. And they have to fight their way out. And then Taki shows up. And then the 5 of them try to fight their way out. Only until Taki gets hit by the paralysis spore thing. So he and the girls are immediately captured. So congratulations, Hayato, if you actually were the one who sent the flowers. Congratulations, you got everyone captured. Because you had to make a dick joke.
And so that's the other reason I'm like, this almost feels like something that Shocker would do, but at the same time, like you said, he does kind of make that comment, so unless that was supposed to be like a joke, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I vote we blame Hayato.
I do too. He does seem like that kind of person, so I blame Hayato.
He does, but he don't. He seems like if he does it, he don't mean to do it, kind of deal. But yeah.
Anyway, back in the episode, Hayato arrives at the base, has to fight his way through the goons. The girls actually go and free themselves because one of them had a knife on them, so that helps. So the girls free themselves and get it.
Because, they're more effective at getting out of shocker restraints than, anyone else.
Yeah, more or less. I think Hayato's the least successful person out of this group so far.
Yep.
But, so the girls get everyone out of the way. Hayato punches his way through goons, fights Mushroom Man for a little bit. Ryder kicks him. He's done for the big explosion. And then Hayato goes inside, saves a bunch of random kids that they just have on bunk beds, passed out. It just takes them outside, and I guess they get sent home, and the day is saved.
Which I think we actually did see them in the last episode.
I think they're at the beginning of the episode, I think.
Yeah, like at the very beginning of the episode. So that was one of those. I hope you remember from the very first scene to the first week of this arc, because, it was a 2-parter. It's like, wow. I get tying up loose ends, but that honestly would have been one that it would have been like, oh, they just did that off camera. Because we had no investment in those kids.
They are not the one kid we know, or friend of one kid we know. So that takes us to episode 26, The Terrifying Antlion. So we check in with a couple who are out in the middle of the night for a drive, because I don't know why. They just are. When they're attacked by Shocker, specifically their new monster, who apparently needs a bolt of lightning first, and then rains sand down, and then pulls their car first, and then them underground into a pile of sand.
That apparently managed to come from this very short sand shower that they had.
Yes. And he's also able to teleport people to a beach. Because I refuse to believe he makes that much sand appear in like 5 seconds. You just teleported everybody to a beach.
Or a construction site, either one.
Yeah. Anyway, back at the base, we find out that Colonel Zoll, our new talking voice person in charge, who actually is in person this time, is here to take over the Japan branch of Shocker, because I guess they needed someone else in charge that wasn't the great leader of Shocker, I guess. Or he got bored of giving orders and he wanted someone else to do the work.
I kind of feel like I like this, because this gives us that tangible next step up villain kind of deal.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish they'd do a little more.
Yeah.
But maybe that'll come down the road.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Taki gets information from headquarters saying this exact thing because the FBI just know this is happening because
they're secretly Shocker.
Maybe, I don't know.
God, I hope so, because that would be even better.
I'm still confused why the FBI are investigating something in fucking Japan.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably a real thing that's happening too.
I know, but like, does Japan not have a counterpart to the FBI that they could just say this guy is from?
I would have thought. But then how are they going to explain that he came over?
They don't. They could just say he's working on this. He doesn't need to come from anywhere.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of pointless. I'm just like, oh, you're from the FBI. Okay, cool. That changes nothing. Outside of makes me ask the question of, why are you here? Why? Why are you not investigating Shocker in America?
Reasons.
Yeah. Anyway, we check in with Hayato and the gang as they find out about the sinkholes. So Hayato, Taki, and specifically Yuri, because I'll mention this here, 2 of the girls are done for the series now. The one motorcycle girl, I forgot her name, and I looked these up earlier today. Give me 1 second. But Chihiro, and that's not her name because I'm stupid. Hiromi is her actual name. And Michi, the one with the motorcycle stuff, the motorcycle background, they're done. They're never coming back.
Because reasons.
Yeah. More or less because there's no explanation given to why they're gone. The same with Ruriko. So we are left with Mari, who's the fencer, and Yuri, who's the black belt. So more or less, we're left with the 2 people who can actually do a fight scene. Presumably. So yeah, the 3 of them decide to go investigate, so they go riding about because all the sinkholes are happening on major roads and highways. And they eventually don't find anything, so stop at a little local restaurant to take a break. And when they're leaving, we find out that, oh, Shocker was spying on them to get pictures and voice recordings of Taki, so Zol can go impersonate Taki so he can go frame him from crime. Why are they framing Taki for crime?
You know, that's a good question that I don't understand.
Why not frame Hayato for crime? Do you not know? No, you do know he's FBI. Do you not know that he could use his FBI connections to get out of jail?
You know, what gets me is I feel like I see what they're doing. They're basically treating Taki like we would see modern secondary writers get treated. And this is supposed to kind of be his counterpart. But they're doing it way too blatant.
Yeah.
Like what we see now, it's kind of underlying, it's there, but it's not ever just, I am out to get you. And it's like, this just feels like super phoning it in there.
Yeah. I'm just confused of like, wait, you're impersonating Taki? Why are you impersonating the FBI agent who could just call his superior and be like, hey, can I get out of jail? I didn't do crime. And they're like, okay, cool. You didn't do crime. Because that's exactly what happens here later.
Yeah.
Like, why not frame Hayato? Because, like, he doesn't have that. It would take longer.
Because we get back to the reason why Shocker is now portrayed as the imbeciles they are is because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the concept was to get Taki out of the picture to kill Hayato. Meaning, regardless of whether this episode's plan worked or not, that was gonna kind of be the recurring concept, and then someone said no.
Apparently. Because they used the exact same plan to kill somebody in 2 episodes from here.
Yep. That's why I'm like, I think that was what was pitched, and someone was like, no.
So anyway, Zol as Taki goes and attacks a bunch of random cops and kind of runs off. So meanwhile, the team stumbles across the mysterious lightning bolt sandstorm thing. So Hayato has the other 2 go block traffic so nobody, rolls into this situation from at least one direction.
Yeah. Because, we didn't split them up to have them stop traffic at both ends. Because, that would.
Well, the problem is, to block it at the other direction, they have to go past Hayato and past whatever is happening to him, which would probably be a problem. They would have to go with Hayato and get caught in the trap too, so...
Except that's not usually how roads work. There should have been another way around.
And maybe it's a long straightaway.
That just so happened to fork at the point where they went back to.
Apparently.
You know, certain concepts would be good if they thought that one all the way through.
Mm-hmm. So as we follow Hayato, he ends up in the sand trap and has to fight off some Shocker goons. Unfortunately, the monster is smart. It dumps him in a sand trap. Except apparently the Cyclone can teleport. B has a grappling hook now attached to it that's remote controlled. And C, while Hayato's pulling on this, the bike doesn't tip over. That's not how bikes work.
Nope.
Unless that bike is bolted to the ground or hanging on by something, physics says that bike's coming down to you when you pull on the rope, sir.
At the very least, you both will meet in the middle.
Yeah.
It might pull you, you might pull it, but yeah, you both are moving.
Yeah. But that doesn't happen. Hayato makes it to his bike and just drives off while the monster watches because I guess his trap card is on a cooldown timer.
Yep, he has to wait 3 turns.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the cops get to the roadblock that Taki and Yuri have set up, and they immediately recognize Taki and take him to jail because you attacked us. Fuck you. Go to jail. Also, is it weird that all their injuries look like chemical burns and not bruises?
Yep. I noticed that too, and I was like, okay. Did he stick your head to a muffler or something? Because what in the world?
Yeah. Also, why are you walking around injured like this?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be in a hospital and other cops be the ones arresting Taki? Anyway, Taki cooperates and goes to jail. Hayato and the others try to get in to talk to him. The cops don't let him, so Hayato has to go in the back door and just hang on the window while I guess no one's looking. To talk to Taki and tell him, hey, stay put. But also doesn't tell him to maybe contact his FBI buddies to get him out of jail.
You know, you're right.
Yeah.
So then how does Hayato even know that that's gonna potentially happen?
Yeah. So eventually him, Yuri, and now Goro, who's just fucking here for no reason. I don't know why he's here. Leave and go to wherever they went. I don't know. Is this Hayato's house? Apartment? It doesn't look like his apartment.
I don't think so, actually. I think this is actually Taki's.
Okay.
Because now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's the same apartment they use later, too.
That would not surprise me. So they get there, and Taki's there, who says, oh, I totally got out of jail, and the imposter is the one arrested right now, as he talks really slowly. And also kind of looks like he has a tan.
And like he has bags under his eyes.
Yeah, so... Are you sure you got a good voice recording of Taki? Because I'm going to say no. Anywho, Hayato chews the other two out, and him and Taki go over a plan to like go investigate some more. And then Hayato, who by the way, I'm pretty sure doesn't buy this fucking act for one goddamn second.
Not at all, and I'm sure was waiting on him to, you know, try to kill him before then.
Yeah. Just fakes going to sleep so Zol can go plant a bomb on his bike, and he catches him in the act, being like, ha! I knew you weren't the real one, because the real one's over there! That I knew would be hiding over there. As I walked out the door
God
for the
he was
first
hiding
time.
right there.
Also, Taki's out of jail because the FBI told them to release him. No, our agent did not murder your cops. So anyway, Zol pulls off the disguise, fights the two of them, gets in his Jeep, and then runs away. And Hayato follows while Taki fights some goons. But when Hayato follows, he falls into the sand trap once more. But he ends up just kicking the lion into his own trap and being done. I don't remember how the bomb is involved.
I don't either.
But yeah, monster defeated, but Zol declares, I will get you next time, from his fancy desk. Because he gets a desk. For some reason.
Well, it's because he's not just a body, or not just a disembodied voice. He's an actual person.
So he gets a desk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's episode 26, and how'd you feel about these two?
This is the point where I kind of started having better thoughts for the show, kind of deal. Yeah. The problem is he is super out to get Taki. And like I said, I feel like that's the equivalent of how we see the secondary writers kind of having their final villain, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like this is like super shoehorned in.
Yeah. This would work if they actually had Taki become Sango, Kamen Rider 3, and the one manga that exists that says that he did. Because that happened in a thing, and that's where the original Sango concept came from for the actual Kamen Rider Sango movie, where Taki is not Sango, it's just some random schmuck.
The only other thing I think would work too, which I understand problems kind of occurred, but if we just assumed Hongo wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
I could
Which is not
see,
the case.
Right, but I could see them potentially getting to the point where they could have made Taki a rider too.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I could have saw this plot line working out far better.
Yeah.
Be one of those, instead of him being in jail, maybe him being experimented on, and being turned into the next rider.
Although, in another manga, this one specifically Spirits, he becomes Skull Rider, which is not a common rider, who's just him in armor with a shotgun and explosive brass knuckles.
Which is very fitting.
Yes.
And would probably let him do more than he does now.
True. But we don't get that because Spirits is a reimagining of Zicross, the 10th Heisei Rider or 10th Show Rider series. I don't know why I said Heisei. No. So, yeah. That's where we are. So we'll pick up with episode 27, Mukalius Monster Classroom. So we catch up with a bunch of kids playing Kamen Rider, with one of them being said rider and other people being whatever they're supposed to be as monsters because they don't have a whole lot to them. And I'm pretty sure the kid has an actual mask that probably came with a magazine. So this is pseudo advertising. Because they do still do that today. But they do the usual kid stuff until some totally non-suspicious guy tells them he can take them to meet said Kamen Rider if they get in a totally not suspicious van. Why are the kids buying this?
Because they get to meet the rider.
Like, this just screams suspicious.
I love how there's the one kid that is like, I don't think we should, but still goes along anyhow.
I know why, because we don't have a plot if they don't get in the van. But still. Kids, don't get in suspicious people's vans.
Okay,
it's always bad.
Okay, you say that, but they could have tried to turn around and walked off and then got abducted, and that still would have made this work.
Right, why did Shocker just do that anyway? Why bring them into a... Why talk them into a van? It's not like you talk anyone else in that you kidnap. You just fucking kidnap people.
I mean, and they're hypnotizing them anyhow, so it's not like it matters if they're coming willingly or not.
True. Just why? You don't need to do this, Shocker. Come on. Anyway, they're kidnapped and they're turned into agents of Shocker, or Junior Shocker, technically. More or less, we're making child soldiers, which I incredibly question this plan. Because, okay, we're making child soldiers, train them in the use of guns and C4, and we're gonna have them go chaos, and nobody will suspect anything because nobody will suspect it's these kids. Are you sure about that?
Well, I mean, adults are dumb. They'll just blame other adults.
Probably.
TV logic, actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Shocker's got a really good plan right here.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
the whole time I was like, huh. This is one of their few plans that actually could work.
Yeah. Anyway, we see another kid get kidnapped. This one just physically just yoink. Because
we ain't got time to coax them into the van.
No. But he ends up recommending Goro to get kidnapped and turn into an agent of Shocker. But before we get to that, we head over to the gang who find out about kids being kidnapped. So they go off to investigate, and we catch up with Goro, who finds his friend in the said van and tries to follow him, only to catch a taxi. Which, isn't Taki driving the taxi?
Yes. How does he not recognize Taki's driving the taxi? Come on!
Also, why is Taki driving a taxi?
I think he was just on stakeout, kind of deal. Like, that's my headcanon for it, even though he never says why.
Also, why didn't he tell Goro, "Hi, I'm here. What's going on?"
Reasons?
Taki, you're terrible at your job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, Taki. You're bad at your job. Anyway, once they get to the van, Goro is going to get kidnapped by the monster, even though Taki tries to intervene and fails, because Taki fails as usual. That's kind of his job.
Well, I mean, we've got to have someone fail so the rider looks better.
Well, unfortunately, Hayato shows up, but he gets blasted by a sonic wave, making sure that he can't save Goro. So Goro gets kidnapped, hypnotized, and turned into an agent of Shocker. Bravo, Hayato, you had one job.
And you failed it.
Yep. But once the two of them recover, or Taki and Hayato recover, they fight off some goons and then run away to regroup and track down our monster in the van. Fortunately, they get waylaid by revived monsters from nowhere. I think the plant monster and the one monster that's like a bunch of them with their data in him, I think. I don't remember. All I know is one of them is the plant one.
I don't remember which ones they actually were.
No.
Because I was like, I don't actually remember which stories these monsters are from, because, you know, we have had so many of them.
We've had at least one per episode.
Like, at this point, we're up to like 24 monsters, and it's like, I'm not keeping track of them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we check in with the kids who are trained with guns and explosives, because this is a totally good idea. And we see they get sent to the hotel or apartment or whatever. They get sent to the place where Hayato and Taki are. And Hayato heads out to go find the monster and kill it so the spell gets broken, while Taki hides in the bathroom from the 6-year-olds carrying C4 and submachine guns. Taki. They are 6 goddamn years old. I'm pretty sure you can take them. Why are you hiding in the bathroom? You're not helping. God damn it. I also love how they eventually decide, fuck it, blow the door open. Like, you have guns? Just shoot the door. Just litter the door with bullets. Who cares?
Yeah, but they've only got the Nerf guns.
So eventually Hayato manages to find the monster with a couple of his compatriots. He kills them all, breaks the spell on the kids, and the kids are returned home. Yay! I can't get over the sight of Taki hiding behind the bathroom door like, you can't get in! As they all have guns. Just, Taki, you can take them. It's okay. Just give him a good smack in the back of the head. He'll probably go to sleep. Anyway, that brings us to episode 28, Underground Monster Murdering, or just Mole Man. So, Zill's decided to upgrade a Mole Man, or a Mole Monster, with fancy eyes, so it can see its target better, I guess. Give me 1 second. All right. So, they decide to have this monster test out his fancy new eyes and his abilities on some random jogger. And then he gets dragged into a hole so he can be turned into a shocker monster eventually. Meanwhile, we check in with some kid who's trying to get his brother a job at the club as a mechanic, which... wouldn't they already have a mechanic? Or someone with mechanical aptitude?
You would think.
Like, it wouldn't hurt to have a dedicated mechanic, but I'm like... I would assume at least Tachibana knows what he's doing with a wrench, considering he's the one who made the bikes. I think.
I don't actually know either.
I think he's responsible for the Cyclone, or both versions of the Cyclone at the moment.
I don't know.
Anyway, Tachibana hires the guy because, hey, I was going to hire you anyway. I just wanted to hear what you had to say. But he also encourages him to get back to racing because he stopped racing after taking a few spills. And he's like, hey, I'll hire you, but you got to race for me next year. So he's getting hired on to help Hayato prep for some race that's coming, which... when did Tachibana talk Hayato into doing the races? Because that was Hongo's deal. You know, pre-Shocker. Does Hayato actually know how to race?
Maybe.
And Taki? Because he's the one who does the racing later?
I mean, I guess they figure anyone that knows how to ride a bike can race.
Apparently.
Except that's not how that works.
No. Incredibly no. So, meanwhile to all this, Taki tells Hayato about the Mole Man kidnapping people and turning them into more Mole Men. And they're apparently after some oil refinery somewhere to make it explode. because that would be a disaster. It's chaos. That's Shocker's MO. But we see that Shocker's keeping an eye on the new mechanic, while our mole man go get some new recruits. But Taki and Hayato end up with no leads, and they're getting caught up in the case, and they decide to drop out of the race. It's the weekend that they're doing this, I think is what they said. It's relatively soon to when they're doing all this. So that makes the kid upset, the kid of the brother, or the kid of the mechanic upset, but he's okay with it. And as they're heading back, they get attacked by the mole man. So the mechanic sends his little brother off to go tell them. So Hayato has to come to try to save the day. Only both him and the mechanic end up captured by Mole Man. So our mechanic gets hypnotized to kill Taki by putting a bomb on his motorcycle, because we might as well try it again. And Hayato is just locked up in the dungeon because I guess we just don't feel like killing him today. I would think they would try to have killed him before they locked him up.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, Zol tells Hayato about his plans and just closes the shutter on him, but eventually just be like, fuck you, get out of this. And he also has a fake letter sent to the club to be like, oh, hey, everything's fine. It's totally okay. Go do the race now. As the mechanic gets back, and he ends up planting the bomb on the bike. But we check into Hayato as he just breaks out and just gets out of the base. And finds a way to reverse the Mole Man stuff, or the stuff that's been done to the people who have been captured to turn them into Mole Man. And also just finds the switch that turns off the bombs exploding on the refineries. That he just switches off before he leaves. Hayato, I hope you broke the switch, because I hope they can't turn that back on. Anyway, he rides off to go get to the race to save Taki, and he makes it in time to get Taki off the motorcycle before it explodes. And he knocks out the mechanic by just chopping him in the face, because that knocks out the hypnosis. What is it with the two of them and just hitting people to make them better? Regular people to make them better. I'm not sure that's how that works. Anyway, Hayato blows up Mole Man by drowning him in cement. I guess. I don't know what he drowned in. I assume it was cement. And our day is saved, and that's our 2 episodes. So how'd you feel about these 2 episodes? Oh, Tommy?
Yep.
How'd you feel about these 2 episodes? Not the stronger of the 2 episodes, because we were kind of back to...
We kind of hit right back to where we were.
Yeah.
Like I said, I felt a little bit better after all of it, but... Like, I at least have hope for it going forward now. Because we're doing more than just Monster of the Week. But it's like,
It's not a whole lot. We've kind of just traded Great Leader Soccer for Zol.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm still enjoying the show. It's just, we're in the slog of the series, of a 98 episode long series. The needle has not moved a whole lot. And the needle that has moved kind of moved by accident.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, anything else?
Yeah.
All right, then next week it's 4 more episodes of each of Nigo Ichigo 71, whatever you want to call it. Here's hoping for better episodes. This week, hey Charizard, you're just in time for us to wrap up. Why do people get notifications about us so late?
I don't know. I blame Discord notifications.
Yeah, I do too. Because like the Twitter goes out on time.
Yeah.
And I feel and Twitch goes out every time on time, so I don't know what it is. I have to wrap up soon. My dog demands to go out.
I heard that.
Oh. You probably got the notification from when we swapped over. The first one was when I started, the second one was when we started this. Probably. But yeah, this week, I'm abandoning hopes to play Pokemon Snap. I'll probably go back to Custom Robo.
Tuesday I'm gonna try to start Master Chief Collection.
Yay!
Worst case, if it don't work this week, then I'll probably just break down and switch to Windows while I'm doing it, which means I'll have to fix the bot.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thursday, we'll probably wrapping up Ratchet and Clank 1, and I'll just start Ratchet and Clank 2 that day if we do it soon enough. I feel like we'll get it done, and I'll start 2. Friday, more KH2, and Saturday is the podcast. So between now and then, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. We're jumping away at that affiliate goal. At you soon on Twitter gives you updates on when we go live, and ! Discord and chat. It's Discord link. Drop by, say hi. We'll see you next time.